Good morning, beloveds. All right. I'm not quite with it this morning. I'm doing an elimination diet for 2 months where I am eliminating dairy, gluten, and sugar, added sugar. Yesterday was supposed to be day one, and I was really good all day, but Thursday is dinner with the family, there's a group of us that go out to dinner and just talk, and it's to make sure that we spend some time with people that are not directly related to jobs, and so I was concerned about the restaurant because it's typical American fare, but I did find something on the menu that was gluten-free, dairy-free, and no added sugar. And then the appetizer that the two of the fam had ordered, showed up. And I was like, I'll start the diet tomorrow. They had fried pickles, fried onion rings, fried jalapenos, and a couple of poppers, and then fried green tomatoes, which I didn't touch because I don't like tomatoes. Tom thought they were good though. And if it had been cornmeal, I'd have been fine, but it wasn't. It was flour, and I was good though. I didn't eat a whole lot. I did, however, eat 1.5 of the jalapeno poppers, and they were stuffed with cheddar cheese. So I'm like, well, all right. So we already know that if you put it in front of me, I don't have a whole lot of self-control, which is why it took us until now to start the diet. And it's only for 2 months. It's only for 2 months. And it's an autoimmune elimination diet to see if we can get the gut in better shape. Then it might calm down the autoimmune. The doctor that wrote it had a lot of good evidence of how it worked with his patients. So I'm trying it, but well, yeah, I need my friends not to order things like that. No, I just need more self-control. Had we been further into the diet, because it's taken me 3 weeks to clean out the house so that the stuff, because I didn't want to waste food, which is why I was like, today is day one. And I was like, all right, but that's not what you're here for. You're here for February 2nd. The title is Know the Truth. The author is Annie S. Greenwood, and it's from How to Know the Truth, a Unity pamphlet from 1957. All right. Jesus said, "Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." There are, therefore, 2 phrases to be considered. Jesus' promise that we shall know the truth is sufficient proof that it is something within our reach, not merely a visionary idea. These words caught my attention this morning. Knowing the truth of our oneness with the Spirit, with the divine, unites with the source of all good. That gives us something with which to start the truth of our oneness with the divine. Surely that is the perfect union. We are no longer 2, we have become 1. In some measure, we partake of the God qualities, share the divine's power and privileges, and manifest in our body and affairs the advantages of the childship so intimate that we are not aware of any dividing line. We are partakers so completely unified with the divine that we think the divine's thoughts, speak the divine's words, and do the divine's works. All right, so knowing the truth of our oneness with the divine unites with the source of all good. There never was 2. There never was two. That is an illusion. Now, when you dig into New Thought, like with A Course in Miracles, of which I do not know that much. Okay, so don't take anything that I say, go look it up for yourself. But as I understand A Course in Miracles and Christian Science, Mary Baker Eddy, they believe that the material world is an illusion. Okay, and so. But that's a little hard to wrap our minds around, that, you know, what we can see and touch is an illusion. Okay. When you look at like divine science and unity and science of mind, we don't say that the material world is an illusion. What we say the illusion is the separation between the material world and the divine. That the illusion between the seen, the separation between the illusion, the separation between the seen and the unseen is the illusion. Okay. So we're still dealing with illusion, just in a slightly different context. And you are welcome to believe whatever you want. That is neither here nor there. But the point being is there never was two. There was never you and God. There has always been you in God. And I'm not even going to say you from God, because that's not the case either. You have not been taken out of God to exist. You are still in God. Okay? So it's never been you and God. It has always been you in God. Each and every one of us are an individualized little locus, not locust as in the insect, but center, point, like a knot in a net. Think about it. That's one of my favorite, if you look at like big fishing nets, the little bitty knots that tie everything together, that's what each and every one of us are. We're those little knots. We are just little places in this enormity, this immensity. We are just little points where we have individualized to have an experience or several experiences. How many experiences do you want to have? You know, to have, and I'm not even going to guess about lifetimes or any of that. I'm simply going to say, you know, to have experiences. We have individualized a little portion of God, the divine, to have experiences. If we are still in God, as I believe, then her next statement, Annie's next statement, is all that much more important. Okay? Surely this is a perfect union. Oh wait, no. This, in some measure, we partake of the God's qualities, share the divine powers and privileges, and manifest in our bodies and affairs the advantages of a childship so intimate that we are not aware of any divine line. In some measure, we partake of the God qualities, share in the divine powers and privileges. Okay? If it is a quality of God, you have access to it. Now, and I used this example I said it jokingly and then it occurred to me, wait a minute. Okay? Because one of the qualities, or one of the things that nature does, and nature is definitely part of the divine, is lightning bolts, right? Okay. Big, enormous, startling, fantastic lightning bolts. And they can do enormous damage, right? They're beautiful, but they can be really scary. And they can do enormous damage. Well, you, as an individualized expression of God, don't have the power to create a lightning bolt. But you do have the power to create static electricity, which is just a miniature lightning bolt. Think about it. Take all the time you need. Now let's translate that up to some of the other things, okay? Let's translate that up to what is it that you want in your life that is a quality of God, that is a principle of God, that is something that you know God can do. Now, can you do it on the level that God can do it? No. Because we are having a limited human material experience. But if I can create little lightning bolts called static electricity, then there is nothing that I cannot do on the human level that God can do. There's nothing that God can... I have access, you have access to absolutely everything that God can do just on a human level. Okay? So what is it that you want to do? And figure out what the human level is. And not even what the human level is. I would say what your human level is. Because I've met people who very rarely have static electricity. And then there's me who is like creating static electricity everywhere unintentionally. Okay? It'd be nice if I could harness it to like charge my watch or something. And maybe we'll figure that out. So, you know, what is your human level of whatever it is that God does that you want to do? Okay? And to some degree, we've looked at that, you know, like, did we ever think that humans would fly like birds? Well, we don't exactly fly like birds, but look at hang gliders, look at airplanes, look at, you know, all the other flight suits. I mean, that's as close to flying like birds as we're going to get for right now, you know, which is incredible. So it's like when we start to look at the possibilities of the things that God can do, and then we can look at that and go, well, if I am a beloved child, because she said the childship, right? And it is a very intimate relationship because we are in God. We are made of God. We are made of the divine. Then anything God can do, we can do. Not on the level up. Because one of the things that we do get some blowback on is, so you think you're God. No. No, we don't think we are God. We think we are tiny, infinitesimally small part of God. That's why I like to use the divine spark. Sometimes I use divine splinter. Just to, you know, if you look at a ginormous oak tree, we are a splinter to the oak tree. That's what we are in God. But we're still in God, which means we have access to all of what God is, to our belief and to our humanness. It's okay to be human. It's wonderful to be human. We just have to remember that what animates us is a spirit beyond the material human experience that we are having, and that we are allowed to bring more in. We can go to the, as she said, the source of all good, and say, I want more of this in my experience. And Spirit will figure out a way to bring more of that into your experience. If you are willing, it's just going to be translated on a human level. So, okay. If you want to cast lightning bolts, because I absolutely do, I shock people all the time. mostly I shock myself, and I'm trying to get to the point there that I off static myself before I might come in physical contact with a customer, because I handed a customer a bottle and she touched my we brushed hands and the spark jumped. So, you know, it's just this phenomenal idea. And I like it. And it makes me wonder what more I'm capable of that I hadn't thought about. You know, that I do throw lightning bolts. You know, I don't throw lightning bolts big enough to, well, no, they can, the shocks can hurt sometimes. So, you know, but to do permanent damage is, I guess, what I mean. So there never were two. There was never God and you. It has always been you in God. Not even God and you, you know, because God is the bigger one here. It's always been you and God. In, not and. Keep that in mind. All right. Let me go back. I want to get you a mission. Let's see. I think the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to be aware that we think God's thoughts, speak God's words, and do God's works. When we are consciously aware of it, we do better. So think about that today. Just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. You're doing God's works. You are doing speaking God's words. You know, that is your privilege, because it is you and in God. All right, beloveds. I'm apparently running a little late, and I did really like this topic. So yeah, I must have, because I talked for 15 minutes about it. So I need to wrap up pretty quickly. You got your mission. Please do something loving for yourself. Do something kind for yourself. Do something compassionate for yourself. Whatever that looks like for you. Please make room for joy. Please don't save the good stuff. Eat dessert first. Please remember that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. The Running Rev Ryan on the social medias. Feel free to email info@creativelife.org if you want to know what's going on with the center. That'll get you on the constant contact. And drink plenty of water. Open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you you do live in heaven right here, right now. That is my Ernest Holmes quote, which then I turned around and quote another one at you, where I remind you what that quote means to me. Heaven is not a place. As Ernest says, heaven is not a locality. It's a state of mind, a state of consciousness. Once you learn to create it for yourself, any place can be heaven. In fact, every place can be heaven. And the best way to get started on that mindset, look for the good and praise it. And that's Emma Groves Hopkins. All right. So now I'm at the part where because I'm not skipping this part. I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a lightning strikes day, a remember who you are day, a know that it is you in God day, a speak the divine words day, a do the divine works day, a kind day, a compassionate day, a loving day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You're a beloved expression of the divine. Or another way to say it is you are a beloved child of God. You are a divine spark, a brilliant light. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. Or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. All right. Explore the truth of your being. Peel back the layers of everything that you have been told about yourself and get to know who the divine knows you to be. Because I can promise you one thing. The person God knows you to be, the person the divine knows you to be, is good. It's the only way that the divine can know you. So go get to know that person. And then see how it changes your life. All right, beloveds. Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Around 9 a.m. tomorrow. Apparently I have a haircut tomorrow. So I'm like, oh, Yeah, that's this weekend. And it's going to be raining, so God knows what everything's going to look like. So take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.